We're at week 14, Thursday night football. Going to be a good one. The Packers versus the Lions. Before I get started, I'm trying to get subscribers. So if you like what you listen to, please subscribe. And if you got a question or comment, drop me a note. So we got Detroit favored by 3.5. I examined this a lot. I'm going to take Detroit on this one. The reason why I had to really look at it is this time of the year, injuries start to be a problem, is really what it boils down to. And Detroit certainly had quite a few on the defensive side. It's hard to really go to say, well, here's what that's going to mean point by point. But for 3.5, and given how strong I think Detroit's offense has been looking, but let's kind of go through this here. So the simulation has Detroit with 68% chance of winning. That's about 10% higher than what the ESPN model has, and that equates to about 5.1. So the chance, I'm guessing that the ESPN model has it lower because of those injuries. So without those, in my opinion, it's always really hard to, especially on the defensive side of the ball, to then do a point-by-point countdown. Let's go ahead and take a look over here at the scores. So the simulation has Detroit putting up about 24 points, 28, and then Green Bay putting up about 24. The thing I will say is Green Bay's been looking pretty good. They've been putting some points up in the past few games. The one thing I would also point out is that in the last 3 games, both teams have had a common opponent in that of Chicago. So Green Bay barely made it past them 2019. And Detroit, it looks like it was a close game. Chicago blew it at the end. But realistically speaking, if you watch that game, Detroit had a lot of field goals that they should have had. They were in a position to score. Instead, they settled for field goals. This really good game. The simulation is actually really close on both of these in terms of predicting what they are. So that's the reason why I'm going to go with the raw scores of 28-24. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the raw numbers here look like. So if you look over here at the upper left, both of these teams are really well balanced. And so that's one of the things that the simulation really gives a lot of credence to, being able to do that. Detroit is slightly better on the pass, and quite frankly, when you watch Detroit pass, they look good. But I have to admit, you definitely get some of those high numbers up here where Jordan Love has been able to air it out. Both teams are going to be strong running, so expect about 150 yards of rushing from each of them. Let's come over here to the right. Both teams are protecting the quarterback pretty well. You see some of these higher numbers of sacks over here, but nonetheless, you still see that right around 2 to 3. And then when I come down here, I see 1 to 3 for Green Bay. Same with interceptions. You're going to see those, especially with your young quarterback, Jordan Love. You see slightly better numbers over here for Jared Goff. Jared Goff is prone to throwing interceptions. And again, I think it's because both of these quarterbacks are fairly certain that they can win every game with their arm, so they're going to push it. And then the thing I will point out is the turnovers. Detroit looks like that they're turning the ball over. You're not going to win football games that way. And then explosiveness. This is one where Green Bay, they're putting up some explosive numbers, and that's really important when it comes to the status of Detroit's defense. If their defense is getting injured and they're getting less capable, that is definitely an area for Green Bay to be able to exploit that. So that'll be a good one to watch. Is Green Bay going to stick to the run, try and have that balanced approach, or are they going to be looking at saying, hey, let's go ahead and take it to these guys and try and throttle them early and make them play catch up? That would be an interesting game plan. But if they think that Detroit's defense is hobbling, that's what I would do. Stick it to them, go after them fast, put your foot on their throat, and don't let up. Detroit is definitely, I think, one of the best teams out there, especially after this last week. You're going to hear a lot of talk about that. They're injured, and Green Bay wants to show what they can go out and do. That notwithstanding, I'm still going to go ahead and take Detroit on this one, but it's going to be a fun one. So again, if you've got questions, comments, drop me a note. Look forward to hearing from you.